know how to do the intro for this video because honestly, this is just such a weird video for me to be making. I love doing videos like this where it's like Equestrian Reacts To, but most of the time I just feel fucking petty because I don't want people to think that I'm punching up for attention. I don't want people to think that I'm doing stuff like this for views or money, which first of all, I don't make anything off this channel anyway, but I just hate doing this because I feel like reaction videos where you're specifically, you know, attacking somebody are just so petty. The only way that I feel it's justified is if you're, you know, correcting things that actually have a purpose or you're doing some sort of good. But today I'm making this video because I was obviously sent this video by somebody else, by many people actually. So you know what, as an equestrian, as a previous lesson instructor and horse trainer, which I am not anymore, I just want to talk about this girl, this video, because the equestrians in this video suck. They suck so much. But before we get into this video, I just want to say briefly that I am going to be discussing a few things at the end of this video that is not related to this topic, so if you want to stay tuned for that, stay tuned, or else I don't care about you, leave. Alright, so first things first, I actually don't know who this girl is. I came across her channel because this video was sent to me by so many people, you know, all the equestrian police out there on the internet, which is why my channel is still alive, because girl, we all know that I don't have time to sit around and sift through all the videos of animal abuse out there. So her name is grav3yardgirl. Apparently she's very popular on YouTube, has like 8 million subscribers. I don't know who she is, so I don't want people to think that I'm just a hater of hers and that I'm just attacking her. I don't know her. I've never seen any of her other videos. Anyway, so she made a 30 minute long video on going out to a barn and riding horses, which I sat through and watched the whole thing. And originally I was like, you know, I'm not gonna make a video about this because I don't have an issue with her. I mean, really, honestly, we're gonna run through the video in just a second, but I just want to start out by saying I didn't have an issue with her at all. The only things that I had an issue with in this video are the equestrians. And this is why I'm making this video, because you know what? Equestrians, they're the ones that watch these videos of mine. So you know what, bitches? We need to step up our fucking game, okay? As a lesson instructor, this is not okay. What's in this video is not okay to be promoting. It's not okay to be putting out there and showing to the public. And I'm totally fine with the girl in this video because she doesn't know any better. She doesn't know any better, and it was honestly the fault of the lesson instructors. They should have done better. So let's watch.
Hey everybody, it's Bunny, and today we're going to talk about a very exciting topic, which is horses.
So homegirl spends the first 9 minutes and 35 fucking seconds rambling in her car about how she's so excited to get back into horseback riding.
I could not even sleep last night.
She used to do it for a long time when she was a kid, and she loved it, and she did English, very little Western.
I started riding Western style when I was really little, but pretty quickly I transitioned into riding English.
She talked about how great it was and how just very nervous she was to get back into it, but she's doing it because she's sponsored by Mane and Tail, which we all know Mane and Tail. I mean, for fuck's sake, I've used it on my hair, I've used it on my horse.
Before I get rolling, let's give a huge thank you and a shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Mane and Tail Beauty.
She also talks about the fact that she's basically renting horses.
So I am kind of hoping that I'm gonna be able to like push through it today and get back up on the horse and just see what I remember and how it makes me feel and like if I enjoy it and if I have fun.
I don't want to say taking a lesson because that's not what happened. She did not take a lesson. This is not a horseback riding lesson that she shows in this video, which is my problem with it. She rented horses for the day and basically just got in touch with the facility and said, hey, can I come out there and ride some of your horses for a video? Which I don't think that she was making this video for attention or anything. I think she was genuinely excited to ride horses.
And we're riding horses today, but we made it fashion. I'm gonna have to lose my little belt buckle jangle.
Like, do that again.
Makes a really loud noise when I walk.
Bitch. That fucking outfit is killer. I love it. You guys know that I have a weird style. But don't wear that to a barn, you guys. Okay, low-key, it's fucking adorable and it's a cute fucking outfit and I dig it. But don't wear that to a barn, okay? And you guys know, I am the last person to attack somebody on riding apparel, okay? I ride my horse barefoot. I ride my horse in tennis shoes. I ride my horse without a helmet. I ride my horse without proper riding gear. Like, I am not one to attack what somebody else is riding in, but homie, when you show up to a barn and you're wearing stuff that literally jingles and has rips in your pants and a leather jacket, like, that's not something that you're gonna want to be riding a horse in. Not saying you can't, but that's not gonna be comfortable.
And of course I'm late, because if I wasn't late, I'd be dead. Hello, Bubba. Oh my goodness. You're a sweetie. Hello. He looks unsure about this. I'm so nervous. Wait, so this is the ancient one?
This one right here, this
That's the ancient one.
Yes,
You're not ancient. Oh, look, this one is like, no, no, no.
Okay, so essentially, she tours the barn a little bit, meets up with some women, but, you know, they get out this horse. She brushes the horse, does a fine job. I love the fact that she does everything herself. She tacks up herself. She might have had a little bit of help here and there, but she does everything her fucking self. So, you know, props to her. I know people are going to say that you shouldn't speculate because you haven't seen the whole video, you weren't actually there to know what happens, which is a very valid argument. But before I let anybody rent a horse, if they're not doing a riding lesson, which first of all, I never did that. If anybody was going to rent one of my horses for the day, they would always have to do at least a 30-minute riding lesson with me beforehand. So that way I could A, pair them with a horse that was going to work with them, and B, assess their riding ability and skill level. And the reason this is so important, and this is why so many lesson instructors don't rent out horses to people, is because people will lie and say that, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and then you'll rent out the horse and they'll end up falling off. Even if not, you're still going to risk a person getting injured and a horse getting injured, which do you really want to have that on your fucking conscience? Absolutely not. No riding instructor wants that. And what they should have done before just letting her get up on this horse, granted they were in the arena with her the whole time, but they should have refreshed her memory on proper riding before she got back on the horse. And the reason I know they didn't is because of the fact that they were too fucking nice throughout this entire video and let her get away with so many things that are super basic that they could have just easily said, hey, how about you do this? You know, it'll be easier for you and easier on the horse's back, whatever. They just kind of let her do whatever she wanted, which is not A, a lesson, or B, teaching somebody how to actually ride. It's just, if anything, encouraging more bad behavior and bad riding, which, once again, she's not a bad rider.
Long fork buck to him, and normally he'll go. If he doesn't,
so let's talk about the no helmet thing. I saw bitches all over the comment section, of fucking course. You know, they're all over my comment sections, especially on my Instagram or any video that I post on this channel, me riding without a helmet. Let me address something, okay? Helmets are not going to save your fucking life. I'm sorry, but that's just true. Although I do completely agree, as a lesson instructor, once again, that anybody who's renting a horse or taking a lesson needs to wear a helmet. Now, if somebody comes to me and they're riding their own horse and they want a private lesson on their own personal horse, I never said, like, hey, you need to wear a helmet, unless it was just super necessary and I was like, I don't think you guys are on the same skill level. It's pretty dangerous and I'm going to recommend it. I always say that if you're riding one of my fucking horses, you're gonna put a helmet on. And that's just for liability reasons. That's just for me knowing that I'm dealing with an inexperienced person who's coming and riding one of my horses that I have to take responsibility for. I definitely think that she should have been wearing a helmet here, although I'm not going to be one of those helmet police saying that, oh my god, riding horses is so dangerous and you need to always wear a helmet and blah blah blah, because you know what, let me tell you something. Most of the time, people who wear helmets because they're nervous and they're scared and they're worried about falling off and getting injured, which in turn makes your riding worse. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, helmets don't do anything, because that's not true. Helmets do have many benefits. They will help you. There are tons and tons and tons of head injuries with riding horses every single year, so I totally see both sides of the argument, but my whole stance is helmets are not going to save your fucking life. 9 times out of 10, if you fall off of a horse, you're going to hit a different body part, not your head, because your reflexes when you're falling off a horse tend to shift your body to prevent you from landing or hitting or injuring your head. But the main point that I want to say is that it's nobody's business if somebody is riding their own personal horse. It's no one's business what somebody wants to ride in or not. Let them take the risk. Let them do what they want. It's really fucking annoying for people to go around policing other people for wearing a helmet on their head when they're out casually riding their own horse. The only time it matters is when they are not riding an animal that is owned by them.
Push him super hard with your right leg and keep steering him back out towards the fence. This is like the worst Spirit does. He's just like, screw you, I'm not listening. I'm gonna go where I wanna go.
I first of all want to talk about the fact that these two women are, you know, following the horse around in the arena. They're not instructing her on how to ride, and quite frankly, I don't think that they're riding instructors, which is why I'm cutting them a little bit of slack right now, because if they were riding instructors and this was a riding lesson, this would have gone way differently. Riding lessons are structured to teach people and improve their riding on a daily basis, which is why riding instructors generally have a plan for the lesson. Riding lessons are never, oh yeah, just get on the horse and just do whatever the fuck you want, which is what this video is. This is not going to allow you to grow your riding by renting horses. You're never going to improve unless you have somebody else there watching you on the ground that will tell you how to improve your riding and certain things to do, and actually have a structured lesson program going on with you.
Perfect.
Like grabbing on the saddle horn.
So every time you feel him slow down a little bit, give him another squeeze and pop you in.
This is a terrible thing to be promoting to people, because once again, it insinuates that riding a horse is just getting on and doing whatever you want. Now, I don't think her riding is bad at all. This is one thing a riding instructor would have corrected her on, is she needs to have both hands on the reins. Yes, although some horses are trained to be ridden with one hand on the rein, a lot of reining horses, cutting horses, whatever. This horse, there's points in here where I'm like, you know, he seems like he's a little confused. I don't know. I think that she should have had both hands on the reins here, especially because she tends to be pulling him back pretty hard at certain points. And with how skilled she already was in the saddle, by the time she had left this, she would have improved vastly if it was an actual lesson, which she didn't. She didn't improve at all. She just basically showed previous skills that she had, which were okay, but they were just really rusty.
Nice. I feel like I shouldn't be this like, no, you're good. You look great.
The two women following the horse is something that you do, once again, when you don't know what you're doing and you know that the person might not know what they're doing, but you're not a lesson instructor, so you just want to be there in case something bad happens and they fall off. That's essentially what they're doing, okay? Because they're not giving her any tips, they're not telling her anything specific or educational to do or change about her riding. They're just following her basically in case she falls off, if anybody wants to know. Oh God, I would never, if someone was bouncing that uncontrollably and holding onto the saddle horn, I would never let them freely canter around an arena. Literally the whole fucking video, all you hear is, oh my God, wow, such great riding, oh my God, you're like a pro. No. Can we stop sugarcoating things just because we want people to pay us to ride horses and whatever? Like, I get that horses are expensive, and I get that they're doing this because they're probably getting paid a lot of money, but don't sugarcoat things, okay? People want to improve. People want to become better at things, and they're never going to do that if equestrians just sugarcoat it and say, oh my God, wow, you're so great at riding, when she's not. She's just a beginner, and she's not that great in the saddle, and she wants to improve. That's why so many people come to me and they're like, oh my God, my riding instructor such a bitch. Like, she yelled at me the other day. She was telling me, like, I need to do this, I need to do that. One of my favorite riding instructors ever yelled at me repeatedly all the time when I was riding to get me to correct certain things, and I'm so grateful for it. And at the time I was like, wow, this lady's such a fucking bitch. Your lesson instructor cares about you and cares about your riding. They're not trying to be mean, they're just trying to get you to correct things so it's better for you and easier on the horse's back, and your riding improves, okay? Because your riding's never going to improve if someone just sits there and goes, wow, you're so great at riding, wow, what a pro, like blah blah blah. Now don't get me wrong, encouragement, totally fine, totally necessary. I was always nice and encouraging and positive to my students, but there was also a lot of tough love that went in there, because I was like, listen, you need to improve this, you need to do this, or else you're never going to be able to take that next step with the horse.
I think he's done for the day.
Yeah,
He's like,
over it.
I've come and I've seen what's going on for the day. Now I'm leaving. Trying to get the other stirrup.
Here, I'll help you out.
I'm like, what?
So I like that they didn't push this horse. I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm shitting too much on these two women that are in here. Once again, they're not riding instructors, but I like that they didn't push this horse. I like how they're like, yeah, he's probably done. Like, let's get out another horse because she wants to continue riding. Another reason why you know this wasn't a riding lesson, because if you take a riding lesson, nobody's going to switch out a horse for you, okay?
There you go. There. Very nice. Okay.
I don't feel
okay.
I'm like, wait, why am I so like awesome?
No, you look great. Very, very nice.
I do think that she's much more comfortable and better at riding in the English saddle, so I like that they transitioned her.
Super, super nice. I know. Okay. There you go. Very nice. That was awesome.
So let's talk about this. This is the part that really aggravated me. I don't like throwing shade at people's EQ. You know why? Because who cares? I mean, your equitation matters because it takes pressure specifically off the horse's back, and it's just better for the horse to have good equitation, okay? But there's a certain point where it's like, do you have to have perfect equitation to ride a horse? Absolutely not. As long as you're making sure you're taking that pressure off the horse's back, you're not sitting too heavy in the saddle, and whatever, it's not gonna really matter if your equitation is like absolutely 100% perfect. And there's a difference between that and just purely bad equitation that is putting a lot of pressure on the horse's back. This cantering is rough. It's pretty rough. She acknowledges at the end of this video that her riding wasn't the best, which is why I don't want to hate on it. The only reason she's able to canter this horse and look like she knows what she's doing, which is most people, is because the horse has been there and done that, knows what to do, and he's worked with people that are inexperienced before, okay? Which is good that these people put her on a very experienced horse, and they knew that they were putting her on a very experienced horse, which is why they did it. But it's annoying to hear them say, wow, you're like a pro, wow, that's so great. It's like, no, bitch, like, just correct her. Just be open and honest and tell her, like, hey, yeah, that's really good. How about you, pull your seat a little forward? How about you put your heels down? How about you, strengthen your legs so you're not just literally looking like you're gonna fall out of the front of the saddle every time, your horse comes on an upward motion. So just have a few problems right there, you know what I'm saying?
And now by the end, I'm like, give me the fastest, crazy.
Oh, next time we need to put her on B. So Honeybee, you need to
Oh,
ride
you
her
will
next
see
time. The blonde one.
Killer.
Needless to say, I feel so happy that I had this opportunity and that I went through with it. Like when I first got on, you could tell when I was riding the Western saddle that I had no idea what I was doing, and I feel like you can tell at the beginning of the riding session, like I am really stiff and kind of nervous and uncomfortable, but then I feel like when I switched saddles and kind of got into the groove, I mean, I'm sure my equitation was really not on point, but it just felt really natural to me. I felt so happy.
So basically at the end of the video, she just talks about how she knows her equitation wasn't that great. She doesn't want people to hate on her, which I don't want people to hate on her either. I think she did everything the best that she could. She didn't know any better. The only problem I have is the fucking people that she rented these horses from. I'm so sick of equestrians just being so negligent. This is why so many people fall off and get hurt. So many people fall off and they're traumatized for the rest of their fucking life, never want to get back on horses again. This is why the whole saying of like, oh, horses are so dangerous even comes about. Horses are not dangerous. People are just fucking negligent with teaching other people. But in my personal opinion, I think that every single person, whether you've been out of riding for a while or you've never ridden horses before, needs to take at least one solid 1 hour riding lesson before they rent a horse and do things on their own without a riding instructor there, even if you're going to have people there to supervise you. Those girls supervising are basically the equivalent of somebody who doesn't know anything about horses standing there to make sure that, hey, if you fall off, I'm gonna call 911. So anyway, bitch. Guys, if you want to know what I'm wearing, this is my classic collection. I came out with these long sleeves just the other day. If you want anything else, that link will be down below. Thank you so much for everyone. The Boss Unicorn design has been our top seller so far, and I just love it so much. So all of those will be down below. Make sure to go pick those up. I do want to also say that if you didn't see my last video, please go watch it. I am doing a 100K giveaway. It ends on Friday, and you will figure out everything you need to know in my last video. I also want to say that in my previous video, I was selling some of my tack. I do want to say that the products that we still have available that I haven't sold yet, or just haven't really checked my emails to figure it out yet, are the halter and lead rope, the split reins, and the neck rope. Those are the only ones that I have left. If you want them, please email me to my raleighlilith.pro@gmail.com email. Please include where you live and how much you're wanting to pay. So that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you guys like this. I hope it didn't come off too petty. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, this is just my opinion, so I'd love to get that discussion going. Thank you so much for watching. If Graveyard Girl ever watches this, which I hope she doesn't, I'm not attacking you, so please don't feel like you're personally attacked. This is just me correcting the riding instructors that were working with you. So yeah, love you, babe. But please subscribe if you're new here. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, bitch.